Hello and welcome to the RM show. I'm joined today by my good friends Simon and Ashley. How are we, guys?
All good, thank you.
All good, thanks, Rick. It's nearly Christmas, so bring it on.
That's it, mate. Santa is nearly here. So exciting. More exciting to be breaking up from work, let's face it, for a few days. Especially you, mate, for your schedule at the moment. What's going on? Is you dropping like flies in your office, are you?
Yeah, well, at the moment, yeah. So we've just been, it's been a juggle to say the least. But yeah, so it's been just a lot of people in and out at the moment. But hopefully, we're coming down to the end of it now, and hopefully, everyone can just have a good and healthy break as well. So yeah, but it's been an interesting. A couple of weeks to say the least, but hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there now, and and hopefully there won't be any more unexpected dramas now between now and Friday afternoon when I break up. So I'm literally counting the days.
I was going to say, surely it must have been some tactical COVID cases, is it, to get Christmas off?
Well, I don't believe in coincidences.
That's it, mate. Well, I'm glad that maybe it'll get a bit easier this week for you. Ash, how have you found adjusting back to Welsh life?
Yeah, okay. For Canadian, but yeah. I do miss Canada. I love it over there. So yeah, vote on next year. Get back over there.
Going back next year? Nice.
Yeah, love it over there. It's my favourite place. So yeah, back for now.
Come back with new accent and a new hair color as well, Ash, as well.
That's true. Ree was just watching Michael Bublé at Christmas then, and he was speaking in some weird New York accent. I was like, isn't it Canadian? What's going on there?
Canadian,
But,
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favourite place, Ash, that you've seen?
I go to Calgary mainly, so the Rockies, going up to Banff for the weekend, going skiing, and yeah, just have spend time with my family really and hanging out with them. So, but yeah, Banff's amazing. I recommend going to the Rockies.
Get chased by a bear? Why not? Why not?
Amazing.
And you started the new job yet?
So, yes, started. So, but training in January, so yeah, a bit slow at the minute, but yeah, proper training starts next month. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mad few months, to be honest. I've had a lot going on.
Sounds very busy, to be fair. What are your plans for Christmas then, Ash? Just your folks, family?
Family, yeah, niece, my nephews, yeah, obviously my mum and dad, my brothers. So hopefully, my friends, hopefully see my friends, hopefully, fingers crossed I can, and obviously the rest of my family too, aunties, uncles, etc. So hopefully I can, hopefully the restrictions don't come in. But yeah, it's obviously mainly family.
Just a family get together?
Yeah, definitely. So we had a big group of family down just the other day. So to be honest, we've all done things sort of early in the advance that Boris the Blade might change his mind and put us all into lockdown again after Christmas. So we've managed to get everything in early. So if he does lock us down, then we've not missed out on anything.
Mate, yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? Every day it seems like getting closer to being another lockdown, but let's just hope that it is after Christmas at least, so you say everyone can see their families get together and then yeah, just have a good Christmas after last year, the craziness of that. So let's hope so. Have you had your boosters yet? I had mine on Saturday.
Yeah, I have mine today actually. I had a phone call. It's supposed to be next week, but they rang me and asked me to go in today. So yeah, I walked straight into the GP surgery and had it done. So far, I've been okay to it.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I've got mine. I believe it's like a week Saturday, I think, or it's
New Year's Day.
Pardon?
New Year's Day, they're dragging you into to get it done.
I know. So yeah, go easy on the Apple Tangos on New Year's Eve, isn't it? So
mine was a nightmare. I had a queue for 2 hours.
That's why I accepted today's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was straight GP surgery.
7:01. My appointment was, and I was queuing around the block, obviously up here in Bridgend instead of down in Cwmbran, but apparently some of the boys said there's queues in the stadium as well. So
yeah, everywhere. So
good.
I was lucky. I was straight in. So
Sarah Bolton said to me as well. She did the same on the weekend. She just walked in, a GP walk in and out, no problem.
Yeah. So got lucky, really. I think.
Yeah, I literally, as soon as I got through the door, after about an hour and 40 minutes, I started having a coughing fit, so just freaked everyone out.
Oh, no. Worst thing, worst time.
More times. A drama queen.
Yeah, I was like, it's your fault for having me out in the cold for the last 2 hours. But yeah, no, I said, well, that's good. Like I said, good work done, and Simon's got it all the fun to come, so that's good. We'll be quiet on New Year's Day, mate. Be quiet, won't it, at least?
It will. Well, you'd like to think so, or a lot of people with a hangover coming in, yeah.
Might have to give yourself the injection, I think, mate.
I wouldn't trust myself.
What did you think of the football yesterday, Ash?
Which football now?
Football, of course.
NFL or British football?
No, Liverpool first.
Oh, Liverpool game, yeah.
Football.
Yeah, a bit inconsistent there, wasn't it, with the ref? I'm not going to make excuses. I think a draw was a fair result looking at the thing, but I think how Harry Kane stayed on the pitch. I think a red's a red, isn't it? He should have been off. Should have had a penalty to baseball. And the referees, Newcastle game, that should have been a pen in that one as well. So don't quite know what's going on with the referees at the minute. They seem to be influencing games, and it needs sorting out, doesn't it? And what's the point of VAR if you're not going to use it in the right way? But it's a good game, Liverpool Spurs. I thought it was a great game. 2-2, I'll take that. I thought it was a fair result, but I do think Harry Kane should have been off. It's a straight red for me. I'm not being biased either. Robinson's was definitely a red. No argument over that, but Harry Kane's was too. If his leg was planted, he's breaking his leg there, isn't he? As simple as that. So
it'd be interesting. I think they said today I think it just came out from the Premier League with 90 confirmed cases today over the week for the Premier League. So they're on about today that it's going to carry on, aren't they, over Christmas? But it'd be surprising if it does, I think.
Tough, isn't it? Because some games are getting cancelled, some are not. Some teams are being made to play without certain players, and I think there needs to be a balance now. There needs to be consistency. If some teams got it and they got to play, and some teams have got it and they're getting it postponed, then it's a bit unfair. You don't want to be having players out, do you? You want to be playing with your strongest team that you can. Injuries are part and parcel of it, but when it comes down to COVID, I think there needs to be consistency in there as well.
True. Like I said, it's going to favour some teams, isn't it? You look at like Manchester City, Chelsea, they've got like 3 teams they could play, but yeah, a lot of teams going to be a bit stretched, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, let's get talking about the American football then, guys. Obviously, it's been quite a while since we've had a chat about it. I'll start with you, Simon. I'm not sure if you managed to watch your boys from yesterday yet, but I was impressed. I thought Mark Andrews had a stormer, kept Aaron Rodgers off the pitch, but then just at the end, a bit of a questionable decision.
Yeah, and I think for some reason I think Harbaugh doesn't like just to kick the extra point at the end of games for some reason, and the fact that we're sort of sat here thinking almost slightly disappointed with the result is a lot to be said, really, isn't it? With and I think I would be the first person to admit I'd written them off for this game. I thought if we keep it within, as long as it's not too much of a drubbing by the Packers, then I'll accept that. But I think we shocked a lot of people yesterday. I mean, Tyler Huntley on his second start, I thought he was superb, really, and I think I even saw a comment from yourself earlier on, saying that I completely agree. I thought they got the tactics absolutely spot on, and there's no denying that Mark Andrews was our lifeline in that game, and he's been worth every penny of that 56 million contract he signed in the off season. So, and again, he's been an absolutely barnstorming game, really. But I just thought for someone who's in their second start, I thought Huntley was very poised. He made some good throws, and what I liked is he was looking to try and get his eyes downfield and see what options he's got available before trying to go for the run, which I think sometimes Jackson's he's a bit prone to. I think he's looking to run a bit too eagerly than actually throw it. But yeah, I was very, very impressed, and I think even the backups and even the people who've sort of stepped in and really, really impressed. And I think even one of the faces who I thought was doing quite well towards the end of the game, and was glad to see Tony Jefferson back as well. So even having an old veteran head in a very, very inexperienced backfield at the moment. So yeah, overall, I've got no complaints, but I think the fact that we've gone for 2 in 3 occasions now, and every occasion it's failed, I think we're going to have to rethink our tactics a little bit and Harbaugh not being too aggressive.
Right, mate. And bottom line is, that's the difference between you maybe being where we are and where you are, isn't it? So, yeah, it's just one of them things, mate. From the Packers side of things, though, Ash, they're looking like they're going to be taking that top seed over on the.
Yeah, it's really tough to stop the Packers, isn't it? They've looked good all season, haven't they? Apart from the opening game, take that one away. But apart from that, they've looked strong both sides. Aaron Rodgers is continuing his form, especially from last season, the way that he was playing. So I'll be very surprised if they don't get the top seed, especially because the Cardinals obviously messed up, and the Buccaneers. It was a bit of a mad day yesterday, wasn't it? Some of the results that happened yesterday, but no, I was very impressed with the Ravens actually. I do question John Harbaugh at times, like you say. I think the point is there. You take the point. Unless you're down by 20 or something, just take it, because you just don't know what's going to happen to you. But yeah, the Ravens were very impressed. I thought Huntley handled himself really well. It would have been good to see Lamar Jackson out there against Aaron Rodgers. It was a matchup I wanted. But hopefully we'll get to see that again. You never know. It could be a Super Bowl, couldn't it? It could be the Ravens against the Packers. You just don't know. But yeah, going back to Lamar Jackson, yeah, he's phenomenal and he's having a great season. Hopefully his injury doesn't keep him out too long.
Yeah, I was going to say, Simon, is there any kind of time scale on it, on his ankle?
Not at the moment. They seem to be very coy on Lamar Jackson. I would be surprised if we saw him back for next week. I think he's probably going to be out longer than that, to be honest, because sprained ankles is just a funny one, isn't it? Sometimes it could be a matter of days to a matter of weeks. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he will be back soon, because we really are, and as cliche as it sounds, at the business end of the season now, and it could be the difference between one result, whether we make the playoffs or not now, or with Pittsburgh seem to be on a little bit of a streak as well. And Cincinnati, very impressed with them against the Broncos yesterday. Browns, depending which Browns turns up on the day, you never know. It one result and it could be all over for us. So the sooner that we can have him back, the better, really. But he needs to be full strength, though.
True, mate. But Aaron Rodgers is playing with a bad toe, and you don't see him having time off because of a poorly ankled ear. It's just one of these things.
I don't believe it. It's all hogwash. It's all a farce.
No, that's true. But no, it was a great game. I enjoyed it. Like I say, especially first half, I thought your game plan was fantastic. But yeah, going forward, I have to see what happens with there. Ash, over to your side of it then. To me, the first time that Mac Jones has looked like a rookie since maybe the first couple of games of the season.
Yeah, he did. He completely it just didn't work, did it? We were dreadful. Played well the last quarter, but you're not going to win the game playing one quarter, are you? We deserved again to lose that game. We were a mess all over the pitch. Number one defense didn't look like it, did we? We were a shambles. Missed tackles, penalties cost us. Matt Jones was just no control on that game, did he? Yeah, it reminded me of the Patriots probably earlier on the season with a lot of mistakes that we did. Special teams. I mean, how long did he want on that punt? I mean, just kick the ball. You know, you're asking for it, and if you're going to hold on to it that long. So, yeah, deserve to lose. Matt Jones. I'm going to learn a lot from that game. It was the bye week's done us a lot of harm than it has good, to be honest. We've come back just a mess.
Yeah, and it's a shock. Like you said, you know, before the bye week, they were looking unbeatable, really, you know, against the Bills and everyone else. Really, it was very impressive. But obviously, you've taken one of Simon's boys. I think he's been fantastic this season. Judon, he's been an animal. Sack lunch for everybody.
He's been amazing, Judon. He really has. But yeah, it was weird Saturday. It didn't look like the Patriots for the last couple of months. Fair play to the Colts, they played well. I'm surprised Belichick didn't have a better game plan for Taylor. Shut him down, isn't it? Put the ball in Wentz's hand. He's not a great quarterback. He's really not. He does a lot of mistakes. He throws a lot of interceptions, but they never. And he stole the show, didn't he, again? He's a phenomenal running back.
He did, yeah. So that was going to be where I'm coming to you, mate. MVP at the moment for me, Jonathan Taylor. You agree? Anyone close to him at the moment?
Well, if you're thinking on that side of the ball, yeah, 100%. I mean, he's well. I just think, yeah, he's and it's not just the Patriots, but he's just been shredding people lately, and I think it all still goes back to just the offensive line and things. So like that interior with, you know, Quentin Nelson and so on. And I think even then, that's really that's where their basis is. That's really, really strong offensive line as well. It holds this team together really. I do think he's pretty much that. He is that dual threat now. He is that. He can do everything now. He is that sort of the wide receiver. He can do the catches at the backfield. He can really do all of that. Really, to be honest, and I just don't see him slowing down either. And I was looking at the schedule as well, and I see him picking up where he left off like next week as well. So yeah, it's front runner for me. I mean, unless TJ Watt decides to finally dry up and stop hauling down quarterbacks, then he's got to be my MVP. He's got to be my MVP.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He is fantastic. I said the Colts for me are they should, you know, they could easily be undefeated. The amount of games they lost in overtime or right at the end this season, you know, even against your boys, the Ravens, you know, they lost when they should have won that one. But yeah, all sides of the pitch. You look at Jonathan Taylor, Darius Leonard, who was just a beast again in that game, and yeah, I think they're the complete team. They've got great safeties, great linebackers, like say, great offensive line. They've got Buckner there as well. Obviously, yes, the one thing you'd say is Carson Wentz, but to be fair to him, this season he's not been as bad as he was at Philadelphia. So
no, he's actually shown to have a little bit of fire in his belly as well, which was nice because he was even getting up in the face of on the defense as well, which I've never really seen from Carson Wentz. He's normally seemed to me like the NFL good guy, really. But the fact that he was showing almost a bit of Brady and getting people's faces, I love that. And I thought, well, finally, maybe he's that maybe showing the hunger maybe he needed early in his career, and perhaps now he's in the right. He's got the right mindset and he's in the right system to succeed with the Colts.
No, I think if Taylor gets injured, though, they've had it, haven't they? He's pretty much their offense. You look at what Taylor's done. It's him, isn't it? He's pretty much carried the offense.
Yeah, that would be the side of it.
The numbers he's put up is
ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah. You take that as a team, they're in trouble. So they want to hope he stays fixed. They haven't really got a plan B or a plan C if they like some other teams have got. And I just think if he goes down, that's it. That's their season done for me.
You have to remember, it's his second season as well. It's ridiculous. It's only his second season and he looks the best running back in the league by a mile. So yeah, I know there's some other good ones. Obviously, Connor's had a great season for the Cardinals, isn't he? And Harris has been brilliant for the Patriots. But yeah, no, I think he's far above anyone. You know, even when you're talking about the so-called best ones, the Zeke Elliott's, the Kamaras, I think he's above them all. No, interesting. But I did, like I say, you've got to stay fit. But they'd be my outsiders, the Colts, for it this year. I've got to be honest. I'm really impressed to watch them this season. Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Well, let's speak about my Chiefs then, guys. Number one seeds, because all you boys don't want it. So, you know, what a great weekend for us. We obviously beat the Chargers in a close game the other day. And then, you know, the Titans, the Ravens, the Patriots, that you all decide you don't want to win. It's fantastic. But it seems like everything's coming together at the moment. Like I said, it was a tough game against the Chargers, to take nothing away from Herbert and that team. You know, it looked a bit dodgy at certain points, but I think Spagnola's got that defense playing unbelievable at the moment. Even players I don't like are playing well. And and Travis Kelce coming good as usual when we need him. So
yeah, can't stop him. No, it's you've definitely turned the corner. You looked a bit off and on the start of the season, a bit inconsistent, but seems to be clicking. You got your players back. You've got a healthy team. It goes a long way, doesn't it? You've got your groove back, and I'd be very surprised if it's not the Chiefs and Packers Super Bowl. If I have to call it right now, that's the two teams I go with as the Super Bowl. It's going to be hard to stop the Chiefs in this form, as we've seen. Everything Mahomes is doing is on point at the moment, isn't it? Your defense has finally showed up. And yeah, I think it's going to be hard to stop you. I really do, especially if you get the home advantage as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I know we've got a couple of good tough games. I think we got the Steelers next time, so we might be able to do you a favour in that one. But yeah, just strange. I know, you talk the Titans without Derrick Henry, but again, I watched their game against the Steelers, and it just proved to me again that Tannehill without his weapons is nothing.
Yeah, and to be honest, and a big part of that game and why they got to where they were was because Foreman was doing so well, and even I don't know what happened to him in the fourth quarter, but he went off, and I think, he's done. This is Titan season over with. He must have had the magic sponge or something in the locker room, because he came out a couple of plays later and got an important fourth down for them. So, but yeah, I agree. But for some reason I think they threw that game away, to be honest, because there was 3 or 4 turnovers in the last quarter, and some of them were just painful. Whether it would be Tannehill just not being able just to take the snap cleanly, some costly interceptions. I thought that was one that cost them, really, because even the Steelers, they had 20 yards of running the football. I mean, they can't run it. They can't run it for toffee at the moment. So that Titans, they'll be kicking themselves after that one. And I think Steelers got really, really lucky, and even with even some, I'm still not impressed by them at all. So I think it's one they should have never got away with. But a win's a win.
Yeah, the turnover was one that happened all as well in the Steelers half as well, didn't it? So again, they didn't have far to go. I think they're already in field goal range on the turnovers anyway. And yeah, it's a game Titans should have won. Steelers going forward offensively, not very good, are they? They're relying heavily on the defense at the moment. And when you go up against teams like the Chiefs or the Buccaneers or your Ravens, who are going to probably score 20 plus points, that's where the Steelers are going to struggle, because offensively they're just not doing well, I don't think.
No, I can't argue with that. Like I said, I can't believe they're still in there with a shot to get to the. But that's just how crazy it is, Like I say, you talk about your like I say, yours side with the Ravens, that's so close. Patriots, and for a while looked like they were going to fly it, but Bills won again, and now Miami for some reason seem to be winning every week as well.
Yeah, we got the Bills and we got Miami, so yeah, it's going to be two huge. We got the Bills on Sunday, so yeah, I look at I'm looking at the last two games, the last game on the weekend. Then yeah, I'm favouring the Bills in this one, and we're home and we're terrible at home, so I'd rather play away. So I think the Bills might win the our table. To be honest, I don't think I think the Patriots. I think Matt Jones will show his rookiness when when he comes down to these last few games and the pressure's really on. I think that inexperience might go against him. So,
because even Miami were coming into this weekend, they started off 1-7, and they were just they had all this poise and promise about being a solid team, and then even on the weekend you think, oh, hang on a minute, we've seen a bit of tour time, and they're almost sort of flexing their muscles a little bit, even throwing touchdowns to defensive linemen. I mean, that seemed very Patriots-esque as well. You can see where Flores cut his butter, really. So no, I just thought, well, maybe they'll come out with sort of a reasonable record then towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think are they 6-7 or 7-7 now? They're something like that, aren't they?
I think it's 7-7, yeah.
Yeah,
so
and they beat us in the opening game. So yeah, if they win all the remaining games, they'll be the ones going through. So yeah, Patriots gotta really knuckle down now, I think. But I think looking back, I did think the Patriots would be in this position, if I'm being honest. I didn't think we'd have a great season. So the fact that we've got as far as we have with the wins on the board, and the way Matt Jones has been playing, I think it's been a great season for him. Either way, whatever happens, but we're definitely still in that rebuilding process anyway. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the last three games.
You have to as well. You have to take it with a pinch of salt, that game. Like, Miami against another team probably lose that game, but it was the Jets. So
it was the Jets. I was going to say it was Wilson and the Jets, wasn't it? It would have been dreadful. So yeah, there is that point. They were 17 down, weren't they?
They were, yeah. Oh, terrible. What's happened to Kyler Murray?
Doesn't look fit, does he? Doesn't look fit. I think they rushed him back a bit, and that's started off so well, didn't they, the Cardinals? But I don't know. Doesn't look quite right, does he? As he's come back.
It's time, we were talking about him for MVP this season, and that's just gone now.
Oh yeah, I say he's nowhere near the conversation now. I think he's down the list, and I think Ashley's hit the nail on the head, to be honest. I think they did rush him back, and I think that injury has really sort of knocked the wind out of him a little bit, and he hasn't quite really found his stride. And I think it's just looking a bit more bleak for them as well, because Hopkins has gone to IR, and I think some of it as well. I just think, well, despite just such a poor record, Detroit showed a huge amount of fight, and even that defense really stepped up on occasions, and really were causing them all sorts of problems as well. And I thought when I was looking at the results and I was trying to catch up with the game, I thought, thank God they had Connor, really, because everyone just really just looked like a shell of themselves, really. I mean, Zach Ertz was just a no-show in that game, really, and I think there's a lot of established weapons there, and even Kirk didn't do much for me in that game at all. So I wouldn't say they'd be pushing the alarm bells just yet, but the fact that the number one receiver has gone down, defense looked a little bit out of shape as well. It's all happening really at the wrong time of the year, really, isn't it? So
yeah, I don't know. Schedule, got the easiest schedule as well. Yeah. I mean, I think they are. Them and the Bucks have had the plain sailing in terms of schedule. So I think when they come up against, quality, more quality in their teams, then I think they just struggle.
Yeah, it just looks like they're crumbling under the pressure. They could have sealed the playoff for the last 2 weeks, and they haven't do it. And obviously the Rams have come back into it now. San Francisco look like they're playing good again. And, after getting Kittle and Samuel back and people like that. So, yeah. Strange one. But, what are Detroit playing at? You know, they would have had a first quarterback pick, and now they're going to be stuck with Goff if they carry on playing like this.
Yeah.
And mind you, I don't think the quarterback is not looking that good as it for the draft next season. I don't think. I won't be surprised if it's not a quarterback pick in the first 3 or 4 rounds. If I'm honest, it's not looking great. I think they might be stuck with Goff for another season. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting draft next year because the quarterback class is not that good, is it? Going into it.
No.
And if the Jacksonville end up grabbing the number 1 pick and they've got Lawrence already, now it's just everything else they need to worry about, and they just need a new coach as well. Now Urban Meyer's had his marching orders, so perhaps, I wouldn't be surprised if the first name off the board is something like a pass rusher, perhaps, or maybe corner, for instance. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a quarterback number 1.
Well, arguably he was a number 1 pick, but Parsons has been the best rookie to come out of it this season, hasn't he? For the Cowboys, he's been unreal.
Phenomenal. What a season he's had, hasn't he?
He's an animal. Absolute animal. All right then, guys. Yeah, obviously with the NFL, then we're going to have to see. There's not many weeks left now, so we'll find out if our 3 teams have made it. But yeah, not long to go now. Anything that you guys have seen in anything this week, not just American football, but anything that's caught your fancy this week? No.
I think when one of the teams you just mentioned there towards the end, with even going back to San Francisco as well, I think San Francisco is not a team I would want to play right now. I really wouldn't, because
they're clicking.
Yeah, they are definitely clicking, Ash, and I think the fact that they're getting healthy, I think Deebo Samuel has turned out to be an unreal playmaker at the moment. And is he a running back, like sort of wide receiver turned running back like they did with Cordero Patterson, or is he a wide receiver? He seems to be doing everything at the moment, and Jimmy G, he's actually not making mistakes. So I like where this 49ers team is going. It's almost what we thought we would. They're almost turning out to what we hoped they would do at the beginning of the year, really. But better late than never, I suppose. But San Francisco is something I do not want to. I want to face at the moment.
Definitely a dark horse in terms of about the Colts earlier. The other side of the draw is for me is the 49ers. You're right there. They are finding form and put a great run together, haven't they? And they're looking good since they've got healthy. And just imagine they had all those players from the beginning. They could have been in contention for number 1 seed. They're playing really well. And you're right, they're a team that I would want to avoid as well.
Definitely, yeah. Like you say, they never really clicked on, did they, from the Super Bowl defeat? No. And then obviously they've had an unhealthy team for about 2 years. So it's been tough. But like you say, brilliant team. But we'll just have to see what happens now going forward. Just before we go, then, Ashley, favorite Christmas song?
Favorite Christmas? It's a tough one. Come back to me.
Time.
Well, all I can say is anything which is not Michael Bublé. Sorry to all the Michael Bublé fans out there. I don't know. I had a little bit of Dreaming of a White Christmas on earlier, so that for me that's an old classic, really. But I like to go old school with the Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I like that one.
Pogues, come on, guys! Got to be the Pogues Fairy Tale of New York.
No, it's a great song.
Either that or Thankful Heart from the Muppets Christmas Carol. I can't decide.
Oh yeah.
But, yes, but no, we watched last night. We watched Christmas with the Cranks last night. I shall be watching. It's really good. But I shall be watching Muppets on Christmas Eve. It's tradition.
Home Alone. Watching my friends tomorrow. We're having pizza and watching Home Alone. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Everyone waiting for Home Alone, so we're going to watch it all tomorrow.
Amazing. I've got got my best mate coming up tomorrow. We've got planes, trains, and automobiles. You know, that's
a good one. I love that film.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas film, even though it's not. It's one of them, same as Uncle Buck with old John Candy as well. That's a Christmas film, which is not. But yeah, we'll have to see. All right then, guys. Well, thank you as always for your time on the YouTube channel now, of course. Let's hope, like I said, that next week, now Christmas week, we're going to have firstly a good Christmas without any COVID disasters, and then some great NFL matches. Hopefully they don't get shot, you know, the way some of them have gone this week. So we're going to have to see. But yeah, thank you for joining me. To the viewers, obviously, listen to our on our channel, the YouTube channel for the RM show. Follow us on the social media platforms as well. And yes, we just hope you're enjoying the content so far. Guys, I'm sure I'll have you back, if not next week, the week after. And yeah, we could discuss what's happening, and we should have a good idea who's in the playoffs then. But till next time, cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a good Christmas.
Have a good one.
Christmas.